So yesterday, the Miami Heat beat the Charlotte Hornets, and I said it was an inspiring win. Just seeing this Heat team come out the gate so hot, and you could tell that they were really trying to get a win for their head coach Eric Spoelstra after the tragic house fire that he had. I thought it was truly inspiring the way the Heat played yesterday. But apparently, since it was against the lowly Charlotte Hornets, that wasn't good enough for some Heat fans. Because I had people commenting on my video saying, how is that win inspiring? You were playing a Hornets team without LaMelo Ball, without Colin Sexton. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, if they had actually listened to me in that video, they would have understood why I found it inspiring, because you had no Bam, you had no Tyler Hero, and you still came away with the win. You had a record-breaking first quarter. And of course, today there were some similar things. Still no Bam, still no Tyler. But you played a much better opponent. So are we good now, Heat fans? Can I call today an inspiring win? Because you played the Portland Trailblazers, who were 5-3 coming into today. They had just taken down the Oklahoma City Thunder, the only team in the league to give the Thunder a loss this season. And Miami dropped 136 points on a team that I'm hearing is called a defensive gauntlet of a unit. You got Tamani Kamara, who for some reason is now on every DPOY candidate list, and Bam can't sniff that list. Bam's out there every night when healthy, guarding 1 through 5, and he can't make no list. But no, they got Tamani Kamara there. Where was Kamara tonight? You see Donovan clinging on potential all-defensive list because, yeah, he's a solid big man. He's a good rim protector, good rebounder, and he certainly showed out tonight, but you got him. You got Drew Holiday, who we know is one of the best point of attack defenders of all time. They got Matisse Thybulle. He didn't play tonight. He's not even part of the rotation. But point is, Portland is loaded with defenders, and Miami dropped 136 points on their ass. With no Tyler Hero, no Bam Adebayo, on a back-to-back with a hobbled Norman Powell, who sprained his ankle a little yesterday, with Kame Jaquez Jr., who also sprained his ankle in yesterday's game less than 24 hours ago, and he was out there tonight balling out. But those guys aren't even the main reason why the Heat won today. You want to know why? You want to know why the Heat came away with a victory today? It's because of 2 words. Jovic, dude. What a performance from the Serbian sniper, dog. After having a very rough start to the season, he had like 1 good game earlier. I think he scored 20 points. But other than that, he didn't look like he had his confidence. He looked like he was forcing it when he wasn't supposed to. And then he looked like he wasn't forcing it when they were supposed to be playing with pace. He just really looked lost in the middle of a unit that looked so cohesive outside of him. It's like everybody was clicking on all cylinders this whole year, besides him and Khalil Ware for Spurs, obviously. But Ware is still in his second year. We were all really expecting a big jump from Nico, and we haven't gotten that yet. Prior to tonight, last night, the numbers looked good. I don't think he played great, and I was disappointed, rightfully so, because you had no Bam Adebayo. I was looking for last night to be the night that he stepped up. But tonight is the night that we saw it. We'll get into the numbers later, but my God, the way he took over in that fourth quarter was beautiful. A lot of rough stretches for him today. I do not think he's perfect. In fact, I think he had a very rough first half, and we'll get into that. I want to kind of cover everything because, again, I'm a realist. I already got a DM from my boy a minute ago. And it was my boy Angel. Yeah, he said, excuse me. He said, excuse me. I'm getting excited over here. Maybe it's these kittens, before I get into Jovic, because as y'all can see, I have a different background here because as I told y'all yesterday, we had a little Friendsgiving today. I still got, some people over at the house. My studio is converted back into a guest room for the night. So I had to come back to the original setup. This is my bedroom. Y'all remember I used to have the Jimmy jersey over here, some pictures back here. All that stuff is moved to my studio. So right now, it's just me and the kittens, which are right next to me here, as you can't see. But you know what? The Heat won. So I think y'all deserve a little bit of victory, kittens, huh? How about a little victory, kittens? Who wants to come up? How about you, Merwin? Oh, what's up, Merwin? Can we get a let's go, Heat? Let's go, Heat. Okay, you're not very excited, Merwin. I don't know. He must be a Trailblazers fan. What about you? What about you, Ella? Let's go, Heat. Let's go. No? Oh, I forgot. She had Trailblazers money line tonight. My bad. What about you, Bandit? What do you got, Bandit? Look, I'm like a clown car out here. I keep pulling people out of this plate next to me. Let's go, Heat. Let's go, Heat. I forgot. He had Kahlua rebounds on FanDuel, the sponsor of today's video, shout out to FanDuel. I didn't actually look at the Kahlua props today because I bet his props yesterday for rebounds. I thought he would have a great game rebounding with no Bam, and he wasn't great rebounding. Today, I actually do think Ware was better, but overall, he just didn't quite give you the numbers that you were hoping for, at least scoring-wise. Let me close this playpen, because if not, they'll be running all over my room, and I do not have a litter box in the room for them to go. So, anyways, as I was saying earlier, I already got a DM. Look, they don't want to let go. I already got a DM from my guy Angel, fan of the channel. Shout out to you, Angel. But he DM'd me saying, oh, I already know that you're going to be hard on Jovic today because you going to say, oh, one good game is not enough because I've been critical of him all season. And it's like, do y'all not know me? I am a realist. When you play bad, I'll tell you. You know, it's not changing my overall opinion about a player because I would be stupid if I changed my opinion game after game after game. That's not the case. But I am simply reacting to the game. My opinion going into this season is that I like Nikola Jovic, and I believed he was going to have a great year. Just because he had a bad 8-game start, it made me scared, it made me concerned, especially coming off that contract extension that he signed, but it didn't change my opinion after 8 games. So obviously when he comes into tonight, overcomes a rough start and hits some crazy shots in the second half, has some beautiful playmaking to really carry the heat, of course I'm going to get hyped, man. It was an awesome performance for Jovic. I do have a lot of notes, so I want to jump right into this. Where immediately the Heat were down 15-3 to start the game. They started shooting 1 of 13 from the field. Not a surprise considering first quarter yesterday, they scored 53 points. You knew the law of averages was going to even out a little bit and things would have come back down to earth. And a guy that scared me coming into tonight, Donovan Clingan, rightfully so, played excellent from the jump. He was really altering all kind of shots inside the paint. So he was pretty awesome from start to finish, which is why I had some concerns how some of our drivers would play today, like Kame and Pella, guys who prefer to get to the rim. But they still were able to thrive, even with the presence of Kling Kong down there. So shout out to Clingan. Also shout out again to FanDuel, but this time FanDuel Sports Network, the TV broadcast that I watched the Heat game on, because after the first time out, I thought it was really funny. They did a whole little snippet of the LeBron block on Thiago Splitter, which I think in game 2 of the 2013 NBA Finals. I think game 2. I know damn well it was game 2. I remember every single game of the 2013 Finals like it's the back of my hand. That was a life-changing moment for me. I mean, you had game 1. That's the one where Tony Parker fell on the floor, right? Had the little push shot off the backboard to put the Spurs up 4 late. Was a dagger. Then you had the game 2 where the Heat went on a monster run in the second half. You had LeBron do a behind the head pass to Mike Miller in transition, Mike Miller to LeBron in transition, and then LeBron had the block on Splitter. Game 3, Danny Green and Gary Neal. I don't need to say more if y'all were around back then. Game 4 was the D-Wade one, where D-Wade finally had a strong performance after struggling in the finals. Game 5, Danny Green and Gary Neal. Game 6, y'all know what Game 6 is. Been my phone case since 2013. You can see the Ray Allen shots. Of course, this one's faded a little bit. I got to get a new one. But I've obviously replaced my phone and phone case many times since 2013. But every time I get a new phone, I got to get the Ray Allen phone case. And then, of course, we know Game 7 came down to the wire. LeBron hit the midi pull-up to put the dagger in them. So, quick little tangent on the 2013 Finals, because to be honest, I don't need a good excuse to go on a 2013 Finals tangent. Greatest final series of all time and perhaps the greatest moment of my life. Anyways, of course, the FanDuel Sports Network, they put that series of the LeBron block on Splitter because Splitter is now the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, while Chauncey Billups is on paid leave for, of course, being a part of that whole FBI investigation that Terry Rozier was always caught up in. So a bit of an interesting coincidence today as this one is escaping. Who you are? Who do you think you are escaping from me? Jimmy Butler? No. Look how calm, bro. I've never seen such chill cats in my life, bro. You can hang out with me for a little bit. Just feel free to hop in at any time if you want. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so Splitter is now the head coach of the Trailblazers. Looks like my lights are already dying back. Man, I haven't used those lights in so long, so they dying on me. Whatever. We'll try to get through quick. I've already been talking for 10 minutes and I barely got through any of the game. I don't know. I like doing tangents. What can I say? You know? I'm excited, man. I might have not even recorded a video if it was a tough loss, but I can ignore my friends for 20, 30 minutes after a nice Heat win like that, you know? But yeah, so FanDuel, they showed the block on Splitter. And then I didn't really love Khalil Ware's effort early on. Here, go back with your friends. Go back. Go ahead. I didn't really like Khalil Ware's effort early on. For example, there was a play where he had chased the block he had no chance of getting. Kind of like what Whiteside used to do a little bit. It left Clingan wide open for the rebound, which, okay, I can understand the effort for Ware to try to chase a block that he thinks maybe he could have gotten. Stop escaping, guys. We could have playtime when I'm done. I got to close the playpen up all the way. All right. Yeah, I can't blame Ware for going after the initial block. I guess it shows some sort of effort. But then the problem is when Clingan got the rebound and he went for a putback, Clingan actually missed. And he got his own rebound again and then put it in. During that whole sequence, there was several seconds where Ware could have then recovered back to Clingan after chasing the initial block on whoever was driving for Portland, and Ware didn't. He kind of just conceded, okay, I didn't get the block on the driver. I'll just leave Clingan wide open for the putback because he assumed Clingan was going to make it. Clingan didn't make it, and had Ware recovered, he would have been able to stop him on that second attempt. So just small things like that, effort-wise, that obviously I'm nitpicking on, but it's because it's become a big topic of conversation with Khalil Ware. So I am looking out for it more. And then I thought Jovic had a really rough stretch, one of his couple rough stretches today. Had an awful hit-ahead pass to Larson in the corner that went like 5 feet out of bounds. Jovic had a driving kick turnover. He had a layup in transition, which was right at the rim, and somehow it was still short. The rebound went right to him, couldn't corral it. Luckily on that one, Drew Smith got the loose ball and put it in. But the defense still picked up pretty well in the first quarter. Jaime and Drew Smith was incredible. I mean, Drew was making plays all over the court all night, right? Hustle plays, deflections. He was sensational. So the Heat were only down 3 after the first quarter. And then going into the second quarter, Jaime would continue some aggressive play. The Heat would come back to tie it. And then you had a really another rough stretch from Jovic, man. Actually, in my notes, I wrote Jovic stinks in all caps. But I don't feel like he's worthy of that no more because he had a strong second half. But Jovic was slow on closeouts multiple times. He couldn't get to the shooter in time. He allowed multiple offensive rebounds. He missed a free throw after a nice move. Then he was passing up open layups. So it was like he was just pressing everything a little bit too much. And I think maybe the Heat valued him or told him how much they value him because of his pace. And they wanted him to play freely. So now he's trying to force it too much, He's a young guy. He'll work on the balance between pace and also slowing it down a bit. Things will start to pick up for Jovic a little bit, though. We then end up getting a tough layup in transition after a no-look pass from Pella. That will put the Heat up 3. But then, and then Jovic had a dunk in transition as Holiday ran over Pella Larson. So Pella making some effort plays there. So Jovic will get Pella would get a free throw because he was ran over while Jovic dunked it. So the Heat continued to run and gun. Pella had a nice sequence where he ran through his defender, finished with a soft floater. So it's tough. He's like using the strength, and then he's still able to stop, and get the soft touch on the floater. These are skillful plays by Pella Larson. He's not just a all-effort guy, even though he has a ton of effort. He's very skillful as well. But then Pella would also hit a 3. The Heat would be on a little bit of a run to go up 10 with 5 minutes to go. But I feel like every time they had a nice play, the transition defense kind of slacked off a little bit, and Portland didn't wait for the Heat to get set. Portland was also pushing it to their credit. So the Heat transition defense was pretty bad. Portland would come all the way back to take a lead. And then the Heat would actually finish the quarter up 7 still. So within the last 5 minutes, they went from up 10 to down to back up 7. So a lot of swing plays there, which is what you're going to get when you have two fast-paced teams. So the Heat would be up 72-65 at the half. So another half over 70 points. Incredible. In that second quarter, I think they had 45 points, which is the second highest scoring second quarter in their franchise history. So every night, this Heat team breaking offensive records. You love to see it. A lot of the buckets, too, led from defense. Again, I want to point that out. Again, Drew Smith, deflections, leading fast breaks. So, great defense leads to great offense. That's what we saw tonight. Then in the third quarter, the bench units really picked things up. But offensive rebounds help keep Portland in it. That will be a theme all year. These damn offensive rebounds that he give up is so aggravating. But Jovic himself, he had a nice play where he would have back-to-back offensive rebounds. One of them was a putback. He had an and one floater. So the Heat were still able to be up 3 after the third quarter, I believe. I think they were up 3. It was still one possession. It was close, going into the fourth quarter. Portland would end up taking a 3-point lead. And then this is when Jovic got going for real this time. Jovic would have an and one. He'd missed the free throw, so he could have tied the game. But, point is, he got the tough basket to not let Portland run away with things. Jovic would miss the free throw to tie, but everyone on the Heat was missing free throws. Left and right. Wiggins, feel like Norman, Fontecchio, Pella. I don't remember. It just seemed like this whole year they can't hit a free throw. I wonder what the numbers are tonight, though, because sometimes I feel like I'm too hard on the free throw shooting because the misses really stand out. I mean, yeah, the Heat were 28 of 36 today, so they missed 8 free throws. I guess it's not that bad. Wow, 36 free throws, though. God damn, this team gets to the line. This Heat team is fast and can get to the free throw line. Who are we? The complete opposite of last year. That's who. Anyways, Portland would then take a 2-point lead back later on, and then Jovic would walk into a 3 in transition. He'd splash it, nothing but net. I love his celebration. He does the, I don't know what you call it. Is it like that boy slimy, like he's doing a slide, or is it just I don't know. I love it. The mass 3, beautiful. Next possession, Jovic would then go on a heat check, catch the ball, shoot like a fadeaway 3, top right wing, splash it again, really feeling himself and playing with a confidence that we haven't seen all season. And then what else we got here? In the meantime, though, this is the same thing I was saying earlier. The East transition defense sucked. You'd get these big plays from Jovic, and then they would celebrate. I know I'm saying I love the celebration, but the rest of the team wouldn't get back on defense. Portland was pushing it. You don't have time to celebrate when the other team was pushing it. They would continue getting offensive rebounds. Again, Portland, Heat was matching that with missing wide open threes. Wiggins was missing open threes. Fontecchio missing open one. Powell missing open one. It's like the Heat had these easy shots to really blow the game open, but they couldn't convert either. Nico would have another transition layup to take a lead. And then a rough sequence, and I get it. He's amped up. He's playing well because he would have a rebounding foul, and then Portland would retain possession. Jovic had another foul that play. I think it was a cheap call, but Jovic got mad. He threw the ball at the stanchion. They called a tech on him. And it's like, it's a close game. I get your hype. You're excited. You're into it. I love that about you, Nico. But time and place. Can't afford a tech in a one-possession game with a couple minutes to go. But anyways, Portland would hit all 3 free throws to take the lead back because of the foul and then the tech. But then the Heat would be up 3 with 3 minutes to go. And that's when Spo would take out Jovic. And immediately I'm screaming, no. Because the Trailblazers still had Kling in it, and the Heat's tallest player was Wiggins. So I said, that's not going to work. Immediately, Portland looks for Klingon right away. They would have to triple team him because he's so damn big. Klingon had a great kick out to Drew Holiday, who hit a 3 to tie. So it's just, you can't afford to be that small late in games. We just see it kill them time and time again. I wonder if I can get this light to turn back on or if it's dead. Let me see. But then the next possession, these lights are cooked. But this next possession then, again, Portland would get a stop. I think the Heat actually turned it over. And then they would look for Klingon again in transition, get him right at the rim. Except this time, Davion was able to steal the ball. Hell of a play by Davion, who really put the clamps on Denny Avdia late. Denny was cooking today. Denny finished with like nearly a 30-point triple-double. He's having a hell of a season. But in the fourth quarter, Davion really helped settle things down on him, and that was just great defense. And this time he was able to get the ball. He was able to intercept the pass to Klingon before he caught it down low. And then what else we got here? That's what I said. Okay, Klingon. Klingon, then the Heat, I think Portland would get another stop. This time, Klingon got an easy layup. So they basically were force-feeding him the whole fourth quarter. But the Heat didn't stop their pace either. Jaime had a quick layup in transition for an and one. And then Klingon had another easy lay. And then this time on the ensuing Portland possession, they switched. And I think you had like Wiggins on Klingon or something like that. And you had Drew Holiday on Nico. So I'm thinking they just went to Klingon 3 straight possessions. You're going to figure give it back to him now with Wiggins on him. Instead, Drew Holiday tries to take Jovic to the rim. Jovic has a super clutch block, pins it off the backboard. Ball goes the other way, and Wiggins hits a 3 in the corner, which was kind of a dagger. Put the Heat up 5. Shout out to Wiggins, though. Not his best shooting night, but time and time again this season, he seems to hit clutch shot after clutch shot. This is not his first huge 3 that he's hit. He's been awesome down the stretch all year. That was pretty much a dagger. The Heat would get another chance to put a real dagger in them, up 5 with about a minute to go. And Jovic just took what was an awful, stagnant, no ball movement, 35-foot three-pointer that he airballed. He got that from Jimmy Butler's playbook, I think. But anyways, all the Heat needed to do was get a stop. They would not, because Davion Mitchell would foul Denny Avdija on a 3. But then Spo saw the replay one time and immediately burst onto the court, doing the finger rolls, calling for a challenge, and I loved it, man. Spo was so animated. He was into this game, and I just love to see it from him, especially with the challenges. I think Spo's caught a challenge every game this year, and we know in years past he hated the challenge. He never wanted to use it. He thought it was too gimmicky, I guess. But now it gives him a chance to be animated, gives him a chance to show that he trusts his teammates, and I think he loves it now. So it's nice to see Spo get animated, get really into it. And luckily, he did challenge it because the refs would rule it marginal contact, which I do think it was marginal contact, meaning you're allowed to hit the guy a little bit, not enough to affect his shot, and it's not supposed to be a foul. So I agree with the call, but in general, I think marginal contact, it's so arbitrary. They've called it so many different ways time and time again. It's like, I don't know, it's annoying because I feel like that's a very easy way to rig the games. There's been times where I'll see them say it's not marginal contact, and it's like he barely touched him. I don't know, I don't like that part of the game. But anyways, the Heat would win that challenge. Shout out to the fan that was behind the refs. They had a Heat fan while the refs were watching video. You could see the Heat fan saying, no, it's like he didn't touch him. Shout out to Heat Nation, man. We deserve this season. We really do. Anyways, it's ruled marginal contact. It would be or Portland would actually get the ball because they got their rebound after the miss, so they had imminent possession. But anyways, the Heat would come away with the win, 136 to 131. We'll run through the box score real quick. Larson with 16 points, 5 assists, 7 of 10 from the field. Damn, 70%. Back-to-back, really great scoring nights from Larson. Wiggins got you 15 on a little bit of a rough efficiency, but obviously he's having a great season and hit the big shot late. Khalil Ware today, 9 points, 12 rebounds, 4 of 8 from the field. 22 minutes tonight. Minutes definitely down after playing 30 last night. Not his best game, but there's moments there with him. He just hasn't really sparked through 2 games without Bam that you'd hope he would. Norman Powell today also had a rough shooting game. Finished 7 of 16, but a little bit of a rough start for him. Still had 22 points. The man could just wake up out of bed and get 22 points. Love to see it. Some big shots late from him too. A couple of and ones. Did a little shimmy after a very tough and one floater. Drew another foul on was almost a 3-pointer. His foot was on the line. But he seems to get those. He has a knack for drawing fouls on these jump shots and stuff. Really critical stuff for this team. And then Davion Mitchell today, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 steals. 5 steals for your boy. 4-7 from the field. And those 7 assists were 1 turnover. Clap it up for Davion Mitchell, bro. I was going to say Donovan Mitchell. At this point, they're almost the same thing. That's not true. Donovan Mitchell had like 40 the other night. Let's jump to Drew Smith, though. We got to check it every game. Drew Smith tonight. We got to read the whole stat line for Drew Smith. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals on 4-6 shooting. That boy, I can't believe there was a point in my life where I thought Drew Smith stunk. I guess we all did. Maybe it's a hair cutting thing. Think about it. Jaime cut his hair a little bit this year. He's awesome. When Drew Smith cut his hair, he's awesome. I saw Jovic got a little bit of a fade himself. He played better tonight. Jovic did look like he had a fresh haircut. Maybe that's the move. But between the 2 point guards, that was 6 assists for Mitchell, or 6 assists for Smith, 7 assists for Mitchell. So total 13 assists to 2 turnovers. What a beautifully efficient performance from your point guards, as always. And then rounding out the bench here, Jaime Jaquez flirting with a triple-double every night. 14 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists for him. Fontecchio got you 7 points off the bench. And then Nikola Jovic, your player of the game. 29 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and a block on 10 of 16 shooting. 3 of 7 from 3. Was by far the highest plus with a plus 20. Beautiful things today from Nikola Jovic. Love to see him get his confidence back. And hopefully he can continue that in the next couple of games, because now is when the rough stretch comes up. Low-key, a must-win for the Heat tonight, because they're now 6-4, 2 games above 500, and their next 2 games are against the Cavaliers. I don't need to explain to you why, if Bam is not back for those games, it will be rough for the Heat. But at least you're 2 games above 500. Even if you lose both to the Cavs, your 2 games after that is the Knicks back-to-back as well. So if you lose both to the Cavs, split with the Knicks, you're still 500 around the time that Tyler Hero was supposed to come back. And overall, I think that's a very positive for Miami. And if you believe Miami's on the up and up as well, you can still get them to win the Southeast Division on FanDuel at plus 270, y'all. That's pretty good, you know. I think Orlando might have lost again the other night. So, I mean, FanDuel got Miami at 3rd in the Southeast Division to win. I don't see how you can't like those odds. The Heat are balling without their 2 best players right now. That's good news. Anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. What stood out the most to you from this game? I'm very curious to hear what y'all think. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe because I'm busy. I'm doing things, but that will never mean I'm too busy to not get y'all a video. So the least y'all can do is subscribe if you enjoy, and I do greatly appreciate it. Your support means a ton. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch, don't offend me.